I am Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, DG WTO.
And I'm Santiago Wills, the chair of the Fisheries subsidies negotiations at the WTO. Let us tell you 3 key things about this draft text.
After 2 decades of negotiations at the World Trade Organization and marathon discussions this year, we have before us a draft text of an agreement that will put into action the global ambition to end harmful fisheries subsidies. We hope that when WTO ministers come together virtually on the 15th of July, and when we listen to them from this very room, they will affirm their commitment to finish the negotiations quickly and to a high standard, and to find the landing zones for the basic elements of the disciplines within the text. This will provide us with invaluable guidance as we work to close this long overdue deal.
This draft text is aimed at delivering fully on our mandate. To this end, there are 3 pillars of disciplines. First, a prohibition on subsidies that contribute to illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. Second, a prohibition on subsidies to fishing overfished stocks, with a narrow exception only for support that helps restore such stocks. Third, a prohibition on subsidies that contribute to overcapacity and overfishing, with an illustrative list of such subsidies. Sustainability is a built-in feature, in the sense that non-harmful subsidies would not be prohibited, but subsidizers would have to prove they have robust measures in place to avoid causing harm. In addition, this prohibition is complemented by other rules limiting subsidies to distant water fishing.
There is no doubt that gaps remain, and this text recognizes the different concerns of 164 WTO members. But this draft text represents our best chance to narrow these gaps and finally deliver an agreement.
Special and differential treatment for developing country members, including least developed country members, is an important and sensitive topic for all, because we need to ensure that these provisions do not work at cross purposes to the mandate's overall sustainability objective. This revised draft text includes an exemption aimed at addressing one of the main concerns expressed by developing members, namely the interests of artisanal fishers, who are widely recognized to be particularly marginalized and vulnerable.
We hope ministers can agree, in line with the questions we sent to them as guidance before the meeting, that the key objective of special and differential treatment is the protection of poor and vulnerable artisanal fisherwomen and fishermen. The proposed peace clauses for developing country members in other parts of the text also deserve close reading.
This brings us to our last point. Having this draft text does not mean our job is done, particularly in the overcapacity and overfishing discipline. We will need to continue these discussions as we move forward.
And as Ambassador Wills has been saying, this latest text is without prejudice to any member's positions or views. This means that, like all earlier versions of the text, nothing is agreed until everything is agreed. Nevertheless, this text reflects discussions that date back decades. Even more importantly, it captures the areas of convergence that have appeared in recent months. It should now contain the basic elements of the landing zones needed to conclude the negotiations. We have asked members to affirm this on 15th of July and to commit to finishing the negotiations well ahead of our 12th ministerial conference, which starts on the 30th of November.
It is my sincere hope that everyone approaches this revised text from the perspective of finding in it a possible compromise for a successful conclusion to the negotiations.
We are on the cusp of forging an agreement at the WTO that is historic in more ways than one. It would show that members can come together and act on issues of the global commons. The health of our oceans and our planet is at stake. We simply cannot afford to miss this opportunity.